Hello, hello out there in internet land, and welcome to Johnboy's Radio and Electronics Workbench. The scope of the videos moving forward will be to showcase various types of citizen band radios from the early 60s all the way up into the modern land of now. I will be doing kind of sort of reviews showing you the pros and cons of different models, what you can expect, what you can not expect, and that's kind of where we're going to go. We're going to do videos moving forward, and that is going to be a lot of fun. I hope that I can keep you entertained, and without further ado, I'm going to give you a tour of the shop. Okay, we're going to give you the tour, starting with the cable rack. Going to move up here to some parts bins in the shop here, down to the documentation. These are CB Sam's Photofacts. Yes, I have all of them but two. They go up to 292. Over here to the incoming rack. This is my microphone collection up here. I have a few different kinds of mics. I don't have them, they're mostly Turners and the statics. I've got a Silver Eagle sitting there, it's under a sock. Try to keep the dirt and dust off of them. There's an old +2. You probably like, guys would like that one there. That's a fun one. And there's a Johnson mic with my Johnson 223 over here in the corner. This is the input rack right here. Most of this stuff is waiting for sale. The stuff down here, there's some overflow. I've got some junk down here in the back that I'm waiting for somebody to come and get. And then we're going to move on over here to my solar controller. Give you a brief thingy of that. That's I got a couple of panels up outside, which I'm playing around with that. And we have the battery and an inverter and a 12-volt output rails. Over here we have the GE Super Bass. These are my tests. I use these to monitor radios, and here's my Johnson Messenger I rebuilt over the last few years, and yes, it is fully functional. It's an old tuber from the 60s. And then on to the test equipment here. It's got a radio here, might as well turn it on. All kinds of stuff going on here. Turn on some more junk. Alright, I think we got everything turned on here. Got our radio I use for test. Another test radio. It's my 2-meter setup. And yes, I am a ham operator. Here's this is a pretty nice power supply. It's a relic from back in the 80s, but it still works just fine. 0 to 60 volts, 3 amps. And here comes the people on 2-meter trying to get into my video. And here we go up here to another piece of test equipment. This is a Heathkit counter that I built back in the late 80s. I bought both of these around the same time. This is an LCR bridge. They still work really good. The Heathkit, I don't use the internal time base anymore. I now use this guy right here. This is a GPU or GPS-DO. It's a Global Positioning System Disciplined Oscillator. It puts out a very, very accurate 10 megahertz signal, which comes over to this guy here and gets distributed to the counter and the spectrum analyzer. Moving down here, we have another relic from the past. A lot of folks would love to have their hands on this guy. It is a Huntron Tracker 2000. I use that for in-circuit checking of capacitors. It detects shorts very, very fast. It tells me if transistor junctions are good in circuit, so I don't have to pull them out. That's another thing that we do. And this guy here was donated to the shop a while back. Please forgive the glitchy stuff of my camera. This is a very nice unit. The 8846A Fluke 6.5 inch. 6.5 digit digital precision voltmeter. I use that all the time. And then we'll get down to the good stuff here, which is the Precision B&K 2040 CV signal generator. This is where all the stuff happens for what I do. I use this signal generator all the time when I'm repairing citizen band radio. It is hooked up directly to this unit down here, which is the 1040 CB Service Master. This is what everything hooks to. And the back of that has outputs on it that go up to the counter and up to the signal generator and over to the oscilloscope. So everything's hooked up all together all the time. You don't have to ding around too much. You just hook things up and go. So moving back over here to the fun part, we got a Rigol. I've had this a year now. I'm really happy with it. DHO 800 series. It's a 100 megahertz scope with 4 inputs. I use it all the time as well. And then my pride and joy down here, the spectrum analyzer, the Sigma SSA 3021X Plus. It's a really fun thing. If I can get the glare out of there. Sorry about the glare. There we go. And I use this to monitor the spectrum analysis of radios to make sure they're not putting out spurs, which I'm going to show you some interesting radios and how dirty they are. We'll do that off into the future. This is just a tour. So, and then we got my Bird 43, which is a really awesome unit. I have a peak reading kit inside that, so it reads peak. And then over here we have an old relic that I continue to use occasionally. I've had that since the 90s. It's an old Textronic 2245A. Many people use those. It still works like the day I bought it. It's crazy. It still works. It's 30 years old and it still works just fine. And I almost forgot to show you this bird. This is a Bird watt meter with its own dummy load. I'll get to the side here. You can see over here you can see the fins for the heat sink. This Bird watt meter is good from HF up to 200 megahertz. It's a very nice piece. I use it pretty much to calibrate other watt meters that come in. People come in with their watt meters and they want me to make sure that they're close. And that's what I use it for. And I use it to keep my own junk at that thing. And here's another little cool piece. It's an old clock. Old Heathkit clock. And I built that about the same time I built the counter and the bridge. It's a nice little unit. It keeps really good time. It's connected through an antenna. You can see the antenna right there. Whoop. The antenna there, and it is connected via the airwaves to 5, 10, and 15 megahertz, where it uses the WWV signal to clock itself and keep itself within 0.1 seconds. And it's always worked really good. I've rebuilt it like 3 times because the capacitors dry out in it because it's on for 24 hours a day. So I've rebuilt it thrice. And that's just about it. The bench, the soldering system. Oh, you probably wanted to see that too. Here's a desoldering station. This is something that I've had for many years as well. This is my second one of these. I went through one back in the 90s and 2000s and had to get rid of it when I moved. But I happened to have another one in the box and pulled it out. This is through hole only. That's what I do here. I do through hole. I don't do much SMT. is because I just don't have the equipment for it yet. Maybe I'll get a hot air station and some stuff to do smaller work, but my tired old eyes, it's not too much there. So I'm just going to stick with what I can do here. I'm trying to do the old vintage stuff and keep them alive. This is a soldering desoldering station, and it's powered by this guy down here. It's a compressor. Now you say, what? A compressor? I thought you needed suction. Yes, you do. So what this guy does is there's a venturi inside of this thing, and what it does is when you hit the pedal, there's a pedal there, it blows air past the venturi and reads vacuum here. So usually I get about 60 pounds of vacuum. What is it? It says 60 there and 20 there. Usually 15 and 20 pounds of vacuum, or inches of vacuum. That says inches, yeah. Inches of vacuum. So that's what I usually get, and you just have to keep this guy really. Okay, and there you have the tour of the shop. It's not really big, it's not real special, but it's something that I've been doing for over 30 years, and I'm going to have a lot of fun showing you the repairs and all of that. So I hope you enjoyed this introductory video, and I hope you will join me in the videos coming forward for repair and review of these very fine Citizen Band radios. And some of them won't be Citizen Band radios. Some of them will be ham radios. We're going to do that too. I'm going to show you some test equipment as well. But I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you soon. Keep up the faith. God bless. May God be with you and help you. And we'll see you next time.